Hey, 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 what's up, Essence? How you doing over there?
I'm good now. I'm over here jamming. You got this good music going?
Oh, okay. Well, let me cut it down for you.
No. No, it put me in the mood because, the media keep doing it again, so we got to do it again, too.
Yes, we do. Let's do it again then. All right, so what you got for me this week?
Starting off here just this Sunday, nerdy, in Waco, Texas, there was this mass shooting. This was a shooting. It left 9 people dead, another 18 people hospitalized, and 170 arrests. 170
That's crazy.
arrests. That's 200 people involved in this mass shooting.
That's more than the whole summer of Chicago, which they always bring it up, but we'll get into that later.
But we'll get into it. And you know who's the cause of it? Biker gangs.
Oh, we're going to get into that.
Biker gangs. Oh, or as the media likes to call them, riding clubs.
Riding clubs, my ass.
It's just bananas how there's been so many things going on with this, and only because we have the internet where people get to voice their opinion and say, wait a minute, how come you guys are not identifying these criminals as being white? Or how come you're
if there was black
identifying-
gangs and stuff.
It would have been the first part on the news, or it just escalates and escalates and escalates. But here we got 5 different gangs that met up at a restaurant at a strip mall called Twin Peaks, and the restaurant they were at was
Willow or something, huh?
no, it was called like Carlos something,
Uh-huh.
and they went there intending to have a fight, and the police knew about it.
Well, that's what they say they knew about it.
They've been watching it. The police responded in 35 seconds. When you ever know how to show up? I have
For white people, they'll show up in 10 seconds.
Not in 35. I done seen stuff happen in traffic, have a car accident happen, and the police be right next to the car accident, and it take them 2 minutes to turn their lights on. So 35 seconds response to this, to a fight, a bar
Now,
fight.
if they knew, did they know they were going to fight? They knew that these gangs, I'm going to call them what they are, thugs, criminals, because if they were black, that's what everybody would be saying right now.
Exactly.
Look at those thugs, those criminals.
Because that's exactly what was going on. This is a gang war.
And you know what? The saddest part about this is this happens all the time. This is not anything new, but what happened is 9 people died. There's been many wars with these biker gangs in California, Texas, all over this country. Pennsylvania,
where
Chicago.
all the black people get blamed for it.
Right. And so what they'll do is, like, you take Chicago. Biker gangs fight each other all the time in Chicago, right?
Mm-hmm.
But they'll show you on the news the young brothers killing each other. You know what the difference is? What I always say, like when a white person will tell me, well, racism, black people can be racism. But the only stories they can really show you is like some young black men,
Yeah.
who might have been called an N-word or something or whatever, right? Where then
That's
you can show white family men
Exactly.
who going to cross burnings and stuff. And this man has a family, he going to cross burnings and stuff.
And if you look at all the pictures that you're seeing of the people, there's nobody under 35. Nobody. How you have a gang war and everybody over 35?
I've never understood about biker gangs or gangs in general. You're a grown-ass man with the same outfit as another man. You might as well call you in the fucking Girl Scouts. How you gonna be dressing like another man? You a grown man. I'm pretty sure a lot of these men have kids. I'm pretty sure a lot of these men have kids. How you gonna be dressing, come on, man, like another man? That's what I used to say with gangs and stuff. Or when I was in college, they wanted me to join a fraternity. I was like, man, if I wanted to join a gang, I would stay back in my neighborhood.
Well, that's why they call them a uniform, because you're not thinking on your own anyway.
That's what it is. Little pussies got to hang out with other men. But anyway.
But there were another thing that's getting me. That we all know the authorities have told us there are 5 gangs involved, but they won't even tell us the names of these gangs. And
one of them is named the Banditos.
yeah, I was gonna talk about them Banditos because those guys are infamous. People don't realize they are actually on the Department of Justice criminal watch list.
And why do they never? Why don't they ever get called terrorists?
Because
9 Americans died. Why this doesn't get labeled white on white crime?
That's exactly what it is.
Oh, because there are Hispanics involved too.
Oh, no, you saw 170 people in there, and the only person who has had a profile done individually is the one person of color. I don't know what color he is. He kind of looks black. He could be Hispanic. Who knows? But he definitely.
Well, some of those biker gangs tend not to let the brothers in, so they probably just threw the one brother in there just to. They'll do that.
And you know he's somebody. He's somebody real different because he got a black and white beard. Look like Corella DeVille is black on one side and white on the other side. But he's the only person. Like when we see these mug shots, they're showing this one big group picture. They all blend together as if these are the 170. This is them. That's all of them. It's over with. Just these people out of the millions and millions of white folks in America. These are our only criminals. These 170 right here, and we're gonna marginalize.
Ain't that amazing how they'll just sit there? I heard about Bill O'Reilly. He had now. Here's a prime example how the media do it differently. Now we all know about Bill O'Reilly, right? We know about Bill O'Reilly, how he'll do stuff, right? So he was interviewing this one ex-biker gang. Now you see how he put him up there, talked about his past life and how the guy is trying to do better in life, humanizing the biker.
Wow.
Whereas, if Bill O'Reilly was talking about black crime, he'd have other black criminals on there. But he was humanizing this guy and talking to him. And it's funny? This is one of the first times they had to cover it. See, if it wasn't for the internet, if it wasn't for the internet, we would probably never hear anything about white crime that involves these low-level criminals.
And here's the other thing. It's not even about the police authority, because some people are saying, oh, well, some of the people who are dead were killed by police bullets or whatever. But
look at people already protecting the bikers. Why are you protecting them?
Exactly. This is an instance where the police should be shooting. You go to a scene where you get 200 people brawling, fighting, chains, brass knuckles, guns, weapons, knives, and shooting at the cops. The cops are supposed to fire back, not when somebody handcuffed on the ground already for selling cigarettes.
Hello, there you go.
I'm just saying.
You mean don't choke a man if he's on the ground for selling cigarettes?
And then the pictures that we see all these criminals lined up. They're sitting on the curb, police walking around with their guns like they in some kind of grown folks detention.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't nobody shoot themselves by accident in the head in the back seat while handcuffed in the back seat of the police car.
Oh, no.
Not one.
That's not going to happen.
They loaded 170 people up.
And then they wait for them to... You know why? They might have known this was happening, but here's the difference. Like, I remember when I was in college and I lived with 4 other white guys or whatever, right? And we would throw parties all the time, and the police would come, and I would just go to the back of the room. My roommates would be like, why you always disappear when the police come? I was like...
They coming for you.
So I had to break it down to explain them because they was good-hearted white people.
You had been trained properly. Huh?
Hello, I know. Even come on, I know where I come from. So now... But my point of it is when the police would get there and talk to one of my roommates, they would look around. Oh, might be some drugs over there, kegs over there. They ain't IDing anybody. You had underage drinkers or whatever. Then they going about their business. They see, oh, this is a college party, right? Now, what do you think happens when the police come up to just 2 brothers playing dice on a pool table or something? Come on.
Over with.
So back to what you were saying. You saying the police, my point is you were saying the police knew about this meeting, right? That's the difference. They give those white criminals their rights. They wait for them to do something. But if that would have been 2 black gangs, they wouldn't have waited. Don't give a damn about the black man's rights in that situation.
That's it, and that's another thing. You only really know about 2 black gangs. Maybe if you push a stretch, you might be able to count up to 4 if you do some research. But we got 5 different rival gangs right in the same place.
Oh, I didn't even know white people had gangs. And why do they call them biker gangs? I used to always say this. Why you guys call them biker gangs? Like out in California, they call them beacher gangs. No, them is regular white gangs.
They're just gangs.
Just call them white gangs. Well, you're right about that. Just call them gangs. But since you call black gangs, black gangs.
Right.
But see, they don't want that moniker white associated with something negative.
And that's another thing. You go to looking at it in the quote-unquote black gangs. Now, remember, black folks hit the United States back with the Spaniards heading down into Florida looking for the
Uh-oh,
fountain
you
of
giving
youth.
us a history lesson, huh?
I mean, they were among explorers, not even slave ship Negroes. I'm talking explorers, navigators.
Right.
And yet, gangs, in terms of black gangs, didn't come into existence until the 1970s, 1980s.
And you know why they were created? To protect themselves from police brutality or what the police wouldn't do when a black person called the police for help.
And that's why they were created.
So that's why black gangs was created.
And why they exist.
Now, why do white gangs create?
But
were created.
Think about
Excuse
this
me.
too. When did black gangs go bad? When did they become this icon?
You mean when did they
violence?
become puppets for the white man?
Bam.
Is that what you're saying?
That's my point.
Just get to the point.
They became icons for badness when they became puppets, and for organized crimes that was the original gangs from back.
Hello.
before the Civil
Y'all,
War.
you getting on my thing. Organized crime control the gangs.
Just-
The shot callers and stuff. Right.
You know?
Okay. Bring it.
And so that just kills me. You know, sometimes I'll be talking to people or whatever, and I remember growing up, she'd be like, "Oh, she talks white, or she acts white." No, I don't. People who are acting ignorant are acting
Well, you know
white.
that's exactly because that's another aspect they associated black with negativity.
and it's just all poured in. It's just this one issue, this one act, and like you said, it's not even something that's out of the ordinary for real. Because if it was out of the ordinary, the police wouldn't have been ready for it. It's not even out of the ordinary, but it just underscores so many issues with racism in America in general, but especially in the media. Like, even seeing the pictures of it, we didn't see not one. We didn't see pictures of dead bodies. We have, in the last 6 months,
We didn't even see people doing the perk walk. The perp walk. They don't even do the perp walk.
We didn't see anybody in handcuffs.
Matter of fact, you seen the police talking to some of them.
You see people sitting there. In
Whereas when you see a gang of black people, police sitting there with their shotguns ready for them. But these motherfuckers already in killed people, and the police sitting there. How you doing, Bob? How you doing?
People in police custody using their cell phones. They didn't take their cell phones. Really?
What color are they? I mean, get
And
to
in
the point.
media,
Why are you playing? Get to
and
the
in
point.
the media, look at how they did us in the riots. They showed the same 30 seconds of footage. It was like this incredible vine.
Stock footage.
This stock footage.
Probably
of
showed some
CVS
footage from riots from the
getting
60s
burned.
and tried to make it look like today's riots.
And they showed the same 30 seconds over and over and over and over and over again for 4 days. We haven't seen not one long-running video clip. We've seen the same pictures. Still
Man, if
pictures.
it wasn't for the internet, we wouldn't even hear about this story. And it only got, but these bikers, they've been doing this forever, feuding over drug turf, but they never make the mainstream media. I remember in the 80s when they was doing these stories on the dumbass Crips and the dumbass Bloods every night. Remember, they was just a story every night. Now we got dumb motherfuckers in the South cripping and blood, dumb motherfuckers on the East Coast cripping and blooding. Okay? And the motherfuckers who start the shit in LA don't even do it as much because they didn't realize how fucking dumb they were. You know? Like, how you killing each other when the police out there killing you? And you want to call a truce when shit going on. Call a fucking eternity truth. I mean, look, I can't even talk, man. I'm getting hype on these
You got too
motherfuckers.
mad about it. No, I mean,
Truth.
just go back to where it used to be. Go back to what you started as.
Yeah.
Because the whole
You don't need,
reason that
the
like
only
you
gang
said,
you should
they
be in is
exist.
your family.
That's it.
Okay. You
It's
know.
like my grandma said, you gonna, you talking about your brothers and sisters fighting each other. Like, you ain't got time to be fighting your brothers and sisters. You supposed to get together with your brothers and sisters and kick somebody else's butt.
Especially when someone else is coming after you. Someone else has made you a target. I can see if you didn't have an enemy, and then I still wouldn't understand, but I can understand. But you know you got an enemy, but you still gonna be fighting your brother over colors. Come on, man. And let me say this. I see what you're doing, Bill O'Reilly. You had the man up there, the gangbanger, the thug, the criminal. Oh, you call him X. You humanized him. You never do that for black men. You're going to have Russell Simmons on your show arguing and debating with you about black crime to deflect from this white crime that happened, the white on white crime. Come on, man. And all you bike gang members, you bikers, why y'all dressing? Why you hanging out with other men when you got a family at home? Okay, I know all y'all over 30, 35 years, you got to have kids, but you want to go hang out with other men? That's what women do. A man goes to work, brings his ass home, hanging out with other men wearing the same outfits. Are you in the Girl Scouts? And that's that.